Let's take a look to see how we can use Shadowfax to conversationally create or modify DBT projects. So here I have a DBT project of Jaffle Shop hitting against Snowflake. Jaffle Shop is a fictional store, and this DBT project is modeling information about customers, orders, products, etc. So on the right-hand side in this UI, we can take a look at the existing DBT models, as well as some sample rows from each model. So for example, we can see the customers here. Now what I want to do is I want to add a new table to track which products lead to customers not coming back. So I want to add a new table which, for each product, contains a number of customers who never ordered again after ordering that product. So I'm just going to ask Shadowfax to do exactly what I just said. Now that we've asked Shadowfax to do this, Shadowfax will go in and understand the underlying DBT repository as well as the data and model lineage. So we can see what Shadowfax is doing. It's reading files in the repository. It's checking files related to orders and customers and products. And it's come back to us with what it's found, as well as some confirmations for us to check off. Great. So it's asking us for the definition of churn. So yes, a customer is churned for a product if that product was in their last order and they never ordered again. Should the count include customers whose last order contained multiple products? Yes, include customers whose last order contained multiple products. And now if a product never had churn customers, should that be excluded or should that be 0 in the new table? Let's just call it 0 in the new table. Include all products, use 0 if needed. Great. So Shadowfax has collected sufficient business context to go and implement the task. So now it's proposing a summary of the requirements that's gathered so we can see the schema of the output table. So it'll have product ID, product name, churn customer count, and now it's began to go in and implement the code. So what Shadowfax is doing now is it's operating inside an ephemeral sandbox, which is basically just a safe execution environment where it can modify the files as well as execute commands such as dbt run and dbt test or selective dbt builds against the actual Snowflake warehouse. So Shadowfax will keep iterating until it produces data which correctly compiles and passes any tests, and that contains the correct data. So you can see what Shadowfax is doing here in the chat UI. So it's reviewing files. It looks like it's inspecting the documentation to understand what is the actual logic that needs to be implemented. Great. There's also a code viewer tab here on the right-hand side. So this is actually just showing the current state of the DBT project inside the sandbox that Shadowfax is working inside. So for example here, we see that Shadowfax is actually writing a YAML file. So in DBT, YAML files are a common way to express documentation as well as tests. So for example, it's we can look, there's a test here on product ID for not null and unique, as well as some description of the column. It seems that Shadowfax has also implemented this product churn.sql file. So if we take a look at this product churn.sql file, what's happening here is looks like for each customer, we're finding the last order in the CTE called max customer order, and then we're taking that and joining that with the orders table, I think to find the actual order ID for the last customer. Now we're getting all the items in that last order to get the products which caused them to churn. and here we're getting the counts. Great. So if you look on the left-hand side, we can see that Shadowfax is actually running things like dbt run against the warehouse and dbt test to ensure that any of the specified tests are actually passing. So if you remember from the YAML file here, there's specific tests. For example, these relationship tests, as well as checking that this expression is true, that all the churn customer counts is greater than or equal to 0. And now Shadowfax has gotten everything to pass successfully. So it comes back to us, the new table, product customers churn has been created. It provides for each customer the number of customers the last order included that product. So inside our data previews tab, here we can go in and actually just click into the product customer churn, which will go in and get a sample of the data. So we can just take a look at what it looks like. Just takes a second to load. It's cool. So here we have it. So we have these product IDs, we have the name, and then we have the churn customer counts. So this is an example of how we can use Shadowfax to easily create a new data model fully conversationally without writing a piece of code. So what I can also do now is I can actually just submit this as a pull request inside my dbt repository by clicking the submit button. And as I come in here, there's a new pull request. And here we see the code that Shadowfax actually produced, right? We can take a look at it. We can also take a look at the additional documentation and tests that I wrote. And if this looks good, I can go ahead and just merge this inside my repository. Cool. So that's the demo of Shadowfax. Thank you.